Good evening. This is the regular joint meeting of the Oakley City Council. The Oakley City Council acting as the successor agency for the Oakley Redevelopment Agency and a special meeting for the Oakley Public Finance Authority. This meeting is called to order at 6:30 p.m. Can I have the clerk please call roll call?
Councilmember Fuller?
Here.
Councilmember Shaw?
Here.
Councilmember Williams?
Here.
Mayor Henderson?
Here.
And Vice Mayor Meadows is absent.
If I could have everybody please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 3.1, we're going to receive a update from the Iron House Sanitation District. And this presentation is going to be presented to us tonight by Dana Gurman.
Okay, I want to make sure on. Good evening, I'm Dana Gemmel. I am the district engineer at Iron House. I am substituting for our general manager who couldn't make it today. He's actually in Washington, D.C. trying to get us funds for projects. So he asked if I would come in his place. And I have Tyson Zimmerman, our assistant general manager, who's with me, and he's going to help me answer any hard questions that you have for me tonight, as well as our board vice president, Mr. Zirkle, here as well. So I'm very pleased to come and talk about Iron House. I just celebrated my 1-year anniversary in late January, and so it has been a pleasure this last year, and I look forward to moving on ahead. And so I'm going to now talk a little bit about what we have in store. So I think you've probably all seen our boundaries. But we basically serve Oakley and about 2,200 people in Bethel Island. And so this is about 47,000. I think we're actually might be starting to get toward 48,000 residents and businesses. And we have 3 areas of operation: sewer collections, water recycling, which is our treatment facility, and then we have Jersey Island. And so currently we have about 33 staff members. So like the city council, we have a 5-member board of directors. They are elected at large, and we have some very long tenured members, as well as some very new ones with member Verduzco, who just joined us last year. And then we also have our president, Lowry, Mr. Zirkle, who I mentioned, and then Don Morrow. So I am very happy to partner with the city on planned development projects, and I think that we have been getting a lot of projects through. I'm really happy to see that amount of development here, and I'm always telling everybody how Oakley is the largest growing community here in Contra Costa County, and so I'm actually excited about each project that comes forward. But our plant was designed as a residential plant to support the residents here of Oakley and Bethel Island, and right now we're looking at build out at just about 75,000 people. So the whole purpose tonight, what's happening here at Iron House? So one of the things that we've recently completed is a number of master plans and studies. You can see there's a lot around this wagon wheel, and we've done this last year as we've been anticipating coming forward to the community with new rate adjustments. But we wanted to make sure of all of our needs and not just having wants. And so as you can see, we've been looking at our wastewater treatment as far as what we need to do going forward, biosolids management, our collection system master plan. We've done a technology master plan. We've been looking at solar, and I'm going to share a project in a moment about that. We've been looking at cost of service, we've done staffing needs, we've done an appraisal for Jersey Island, all of this, so we can kind of look ahead at the future. So I'd mentioned we have operations, and so with respect to this, we have a lot of infrastructure, which is essentially a very large investment in the community. But we have 140 miles of sewer lines, 32 sewage lift stations, as well as 19 miles of pressurized pipe. And my friend on the other side of here, Billy Lee, has been helping expand that with the East Cyprus project, where we've been trying to have a resilient or a parallel system so we can bypass depending on where things go. And you can see all of the other tasks that our very capable team perform. And I'm really excited because about 2 weeks ago, our collection system team won the CWEA collection system of the year for the Bay Area for a small sized agency. And my own staff member, who does all of the inspection here in Oakley, Dominic Gardner, won for the operator of the year, and that's for the Bay Area. And we're very excited because we actually heard this week that we've been deemed eligible to compete for the state title. So hopefully we have 2 awards coming that we can put in our trophy case. So we have been very excited about public outreach. We have contributed and participated in a number of festivals last year. I know I participated myself at the Heart of Oakley as well as the Science Fair, and we're looking forward to May 19th for Public Works Week. And I was mentioning to Billy Lee that we're looking at bringing a giant toilet for the children to have pictures in. So our guys are actually going to build it. So I'm very excited. But as you can see, we've also updated our website, and it's actually got a very nice new slick feel. If anyone wants to see it, it's www.ironhousesanitarydistrict.com, all one word. So the other side of our operations, our treatment, which is what we do here at the water recycling facility. And engineers, we love our acronyms, and so we call it the WRF. And so we built the latest WRF in 2011, and so it right now is a teenager, and like all teenagers, they require a lot of time, attention, and money. And so we're actually having to look at its needs and kind of replace some things and take a look at, how we go forward in the future with this. But it is very much a state-of-the-art facility, even though it is 15 years old. A lot of the other agencies in the Bay Area are actually trying to achieve what we have here at Iron House, which is nutrient removal. And so we produce recycled water, and we have a very kind of cool approach. So if anybody wants to have tours, we are very excited to showcase that facility, and we've done one just recently with the Rotary, and so we have more to come. So if anyone's interested, just let us know. But I wanted to mention that once we've treated the water to a very high quality standard, we actually discharge it through Jersey Island into the San Joaquin River. And I know that there's been some folks who've thought that we've, been discharging into creeks, but we actually have a closed system, and it actually is closed all the way until it discharges that quality of water into the San Joaquin River. And it's about 550 feet or so in the river under the water. So just to clarify. So one of the outcomes of one of those studies is we are looking at trying to reduce our energy costs. And so we currently have a 1.1 megawatt solar system, and we've had this for about 12, 13 years. And so it's only producing about 42% of what we need as energy for the treatment plant. So we are in contract, or about to be in contract, to add 1.5 megawatts of additional storage, as well as batteries to help us shave the energy costs during the 5 to 9 peak hours. And so we're very excited. What's kind of interesting is this is about 13 years old, and the new system, which will be bigger, is going to be, probably a third of this footprint of what we have. So, but anyways, this will help us keep our costs down, again, going into the future. And so I mentioned Jersey Island. This is where our treatment plant goes, or the treatment effluent goes through it. We have about a 6-mile pipeline across the island, and currently we are entertaining a contract with Diablo Water for the sale of this island, and right now that is intended to be completed by the end of this calendar year, 2026. And so we'll see where things go, but that is a potential big change. So recycled water, I am excited to mention this because we have a free recycled water system for the residents. They come. You can see in the bottom is our station at our facility. We are going to be opening May 4th, the Star Wars Day. And so with that, I would, like to encourage anyone to come in and sign up and get water for their gardens. And so we have an award-winning finance department, and we've been receiving this GFOA report since 2017. We just added another little button on the plaque, and so we've been producing our ACFR, the Comprehensive Financial Report, and we've been upping our game with making it a little bit more attractive to view. And so I keep talking about costs and money. Right now we are planning on investing about $50 million over the next 5 years into our system, and about half of that, or just under $24 million, will be in the collection system. You can see there's a large project in bold at the top, which is the balance of the 14-inch parallel force main. And so when we finish this project in the next 2 to 3 years, we will have a system that can bypass if we have any issues. And we hired Sandbell, who I believe you might be familiar with, and part of it was their good job, on the city's East Cypress project. We have a few other high-level projects. We're upgrading our 32 pump stations. We are updating our SCADA and our radios, and because our equipment is older, and trying to bring it up into current technology. And then we have about $3 million to renovate pipes in the street, and we'll be coordinating with the city to make sure that as we do it, it doesn't interfere with their paving program. And then we have the other balance, about $24.5 million for the WRF. And there's a lot of projects here, but you can see that they're all, between, about $4 and $7 million. The big one is we're looking at controlling costs for our biosolids. So after we clean it, right now we haul it out, and we're trying to keep those costs just because greenhouse gas emissions, and it's something that's sort of out of our control. And so we're looking at a few options with some facilities possibly being constructed on site. And then we have, again, more SCADA and PLC upgrades, which are basically the brains of all of our automated equipment. So almost at the end here. Cost of service, we've updated it, taken a look at all of our needs over these next 5 years, and we are going to shortly be sending out our Prop 218 notice, and we have a public hearing scheduled for May 19th to consider rates. So just to let you know ahead what we're planning. And finally, you have the picture of our staff. So this is new, and we're all smiling and happy, and it's a great place to work. So if there's any questions, I am happy to answer them. You gonna be easy on me?
Councilmember Williams.
Can we just go back to that slide for the meeting on May 19th? I just wanted to catch. Okay, perfect. The time. Great, thank you.
6:30, our normal
Perfect.
meeting time.
That's great. Thank you.
Seeing no further questions, thank you for your presentation.
Thank you very much.
Item 1.4, proclamation recognizing March as Prescription Drug Awareness Month. Danielle Alban from the Bay Area Community Resource Correlation Coordinator. Can you meet me up front? And if I could have the clerk read the proclamation for me.
Whereas prescription drugs, when used as directed, play a critical role in maintaining the health and well-being of individuals across the United States, and whereas misused or unused prescription medications can lead to accidental poisoning, overdose, and misuse, posing a serious public health challenge. And whereas the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration and the State of California encourage safe storage, responsible use, and proper disposal of prescription medications to prevent misuse, diversion, and accidental harm. And whereas in California, opioid overdose deaths and prescription medication misuse continue to impact families, communities, and healthcare systems, highlighting the importance of education and prevention efforts. And whereas synthetic opioids, including counterfeit prescription drugs laced with fentanyl, continue to be a significant driver of fatal overdose, and in 2024, the rate of overdose from fentanyl in Contra Costa County was 10.2 per 100,000 residents, a significant reduction from 2023. And whereas in 2023, in Contra Costa County, there were 447,583 opioid prescriptions given to patients, which is an age-adjusted rate of 313.9 per 1,000 residents, higher than the state rate of 345.62. And whereas in 2024, a total of 17,083 emergency department visits occurred in California that were related to an opioid overdose, and 332 of those visits occurred in Contra Costa County. And whereas, according to the Center for Disease Control, 105,007 drug overdose deaths occurred nationally in 2023. 80,000 were from opioids, and 183 of those opioid-related overdose deaths occurred in Contra Costa County. And whereas the Contra Costa County Meds Coalition encourages residents of Oakley to use prescription medications only as directed by their healthcare providers and to never share medications with others. And whereas proper disposal of unused or expired medications at pharmacies or take-back days helps protect public safety and the environment. And whereas the DEA's National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day on Saturday, April 25th, 2026, provides a special opportunity for residents to safely dispose of unused medications and participate in efforts to prevent prescription drug misuse in our community. And whereas promoting awareness, education, and responsible behaviors regarding prescription medications strengthens the health, safety, and well-being of all Oakley residents. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Oakley does hereby proclaim March 2026 as Prescription Drug Awareness Month in the City of Oakley.
Thank you. And congratulations on this. And would you like to say a few words?
Yes, please.
Thank you, Mayor Henderson and the City Council for declaring March as Prescription Drug Abuse Awareness Month. I want to sincerely thank the City of Oakley for taking this important step to protect the health and safety of our community. Prescription drug misuse continues to be a serious issue here in East Contra Costa County. In our region, thousands of residents are prescribed opioids each year, and opioid-related overdoses and emergency department visits remain a significant public health concern. In recent years, East Contra Costa County has experienced rising overdose rates, with youth and young adults increasingly impacted by counterfeit pills containing fentanyl. Many teens do not realize that pills bought online or from friends can be deadly, even if they look like legitimate prescriptions. Oakley is a strong, family-oriented community, and proclamations like this matter. They send a clear message that the city is committed to prevention, education, and reducing stigma around substance use and mental health. This declaration also supports efforts to promote safe medication storage, proper disposal, and conversations between parents, youth, schools, and healthcare providers. By recognizing Prescription Drug Abuse Awareness Month, Oakley is helping to increase awareness, encourage responsible prescribing and disposal practices, and protect our youth from preventable harm. It also shows leadership in addressing a crisis that affects families across our community. I would also like to take this important opportunity to remind everyone that DEA Take Back Day will occur on April 26th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. here at our Oakley Police Department. Thank you again for your commitment to public health and standing with residents, educators, and prevention partners to keep Oakley safe and healthy. Thank you. And this is one of my coalition members.
You guys want to hold him and get a picture?
Is it possible for you to take one with my? Oh, sorry. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving to our next item, item 2, public comment. At this time, the public comments will be heard for items that are not on the agenda. I have received one public comment card and several online. If you wish to speak, please fill out a blue speaker card. They're located in the back lobby and submit it to the city clerk. The time limit will be 3 minutes. The time's monitored in front of my seat. Please refrain from applauding, cheering, booing, or outbursts so everybody has the opportunity to speak. Note, due to provisions of state law, the council may not engage in dialogue on public comments. Staff may be directed to respond to the person making public comment. Our first public comment that wished to speak came in online. It was David Burson. Nora Westbury. Okay, and I do have a card from Greg Garcia.
Thank you, guys. I'm glad to follow the ISD because what I'm going to talk about is the data centers. And at the Planning Commission meeting that was roughly a month ago, one of the issues was infrastructure. If data centers were to go in there, the water issue, recycling of water, if a data center was go in there, the amount of water they would use, we don't know if it will be able to handle that. We do know that we don't have enough electricity going through there, but maybe they could make their own electricity if they were to build a data center. I'm not necessarily against a data center, but I don't think this is well thought out. And I think the representative for the, the LLC was disingenuous. I don't think you build a 3 million square foot facility. I forget how many, I've tried to figure it out. That's like how many of the Costco's. It's like 10 Costco's of that store. That's a lot of square footage. And they didn't know a single business that was going in there when they were asked. I think that was very disingenuous. And I don't think you build a 3 million square foot facility without having some clients ahead of time. That's just too much output to not have something for that. The Planning Commission, nonetheless, they went through and they rezoned, and that's moved up to you guys to make a decision. There's no shortage of data out there. It's very easy to research when these data centers get into communities, what happens to those communities. There's no search. It takes minutes to find 10, 15 reliable resources about the water issues, the pollution issues, the air issues. Some people worry about the environment issues. I mean, I know what that place was before. It was it used to be the DuPont Center, so that dirt is already dirty as can get out, but that's neither here nor there. And this city also, we have, I don't know why, like it was by a municipal code or whatever, we don't allow dispensaries in our city. We don't allow strip bars in our city. And the public does not want data centers in this city. From that meeting and the last meeting here, it's very obvious that the people of this city do not want data centers. And that's all my comments.
Thank you. I do not have any other public comment cards. We'll move to item 4, consent, or item 3, council member comments. Any council member wishing to make comments? Council member Fuller.
Yes, thank you. First, thank you for speaking. You mentioned the Planning Commission rezoned it. No, the Planning Commission can only recommend. The council is the only people that can rezone. So that property has yet to be rezoned. And it takes actually, if I remember correctly, a 4/5 vote of us to rezone a piece of property. So it takes 4 votes for that to occur. Having said that, I was over in Brentwood, and I'm glad the chief and the lieutenant's here, just driving over by Grocery Warehouse, and there were a couple of, I don't know, older teenagers on their electric bikes riding down on the north side heading south, or rather the east side heading south, in other words, on the wrong side of the street, on their electric bikes, and they were passing the streets, the traffic on the in the car traffic. In other words, they had to be going over 50, I would say, or over 40, I would say closer to 55 or 60 on their bikes, electric bikes. They're just getting to be a problem. I've talked about it before. Our department does very well, but I think people need to be aware of it. It has been decades since I had traffic enforcement, but if I remember correctly, the motor vehicle says if it has a motor on it and propels somebody that can propel something without a human body action, and that means not just pedaling at the motor, but if that doesn't count. If there's a motor on it propelling it, then it's a motor vehicle. If it's a motor vehicle, then it's subject to the laws of the California Vehicle Code, and I would be all for enforcing them. I was out here on Main Street the other day, and there was a person riding along on their electric vehicle, and again, they must have been going 35 or 40, no helmet. I don't know if they had any expertise, but it would seem to me if they're riding it on the street, they need to be at least 15 and a half years old and have a certificate for motor vehicles to operate a 2-wheel vehicle or a motorcycle, however you want it. So my thoughts are we're doing good, and I hope we continue to be proactive in the enforcement of them, because we've had fatalities in this state with them already, so not in Oakley, but in the state. So thank you.
Seeing no further council member comments, we'll move to item 4, consent calendar. Do we have any items that the council?
Yes, 4.1.
I move the remainder of the calendar.
Second.
We have a first and a second. I have not received any public comments on the consent calendar. We'll call for a roll call vote.
Councilmember Fuller,
No, or aye.
Councilmember Shaw,
Yes.
Councilmember Williams,
Yes.
Mayor Henderson.
Aye.
The motion passes 4-0.
4.1, Councilmember Fuller.
Yes, again, my what I bring up even as it goes along, that we aren't being accurate enough and forthwith or forthcoming enough on our minutes. I think one of the examples are the minutes this time is we have under the public comments were provided by Annette Keel and Bud Chaddick, period. So I'm a little bit remiss that we're not adding something at least to say what they talked about, where they were on it. If people are coming to our city hall and talking during the council meeting, yes, we acknowledge their names, but it seems like we ought to take the time to acknowledge what they put forward, make sure it's a record of it, so others can check to it in the name of transparency. So I will vote no again on this item.
I'll make a motion to move as written.
I'll second.
We have a first and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Fuller,
No.
Councilmember Shaw,
Yes.
Councilmember Williams,
Yes.
Mayor Henderson.
Yes.
The motion passes 4-0.
Item 5, public hearings, we have none. Item 6, regular calendar, we have none. Moving to item 7, 7.1, city manager's report. Mr. McMurray.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. Just got 2 items to bring to your attention as well as the public's. We have our third and last public engagement session regarding our new library and community center that will take place this Saturday at our Recreation Center on O'Hara Avenue. That's the 28th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then that same day, we also have a great event that our rec team, along with OYAC, is putting on, which is Oakley's Got Talent, and that event lasts from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Okay, item 7.2, council members' reports. Councilmember Fuller.
I attended the library meeting here, and it was, I thought, very well conducted. Had some nice treats. The brownies were a little rich, but I enjoyed it. It was a nice gathering. We're very well attended, and let's put it this way: very well attended in that all the seats were full. There was much interaction. I would say at least 90 minutes of interaction. We went through, and grateful for it. We have 2 more. I don't know. I don't know if the pop-up yet has been done, but there's one on the 28th at the Recreation Center, which is a Saturday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. So if you missed this one and we're working, it's a Saturday one, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Recreation Center on O'Hara on February 28th, the Saturday.
Councilmember Shaw.
All right, kind of short. Since our last meeting, I went to the Oakley Chamber Mixer where I had the honor of swearing in the new board members for the year. On the 12th, I was part of a Cal Cities Bylaws Committee meeting where we are going to be updating the bylaws for the East Bay Division. On the 17th, I was at the meeting, the community meeting with the library. Very well done. Super excited to see actual, renderings, and it's coming along. Some say slow, some say fast. I think it's just right. I think, we're making sure we're getting everything done, but we're also not stalling it. And so I'm very happy with the progress. And I also, on the 18th, got to go to our newest lieutenant swear-in, and congratulations again.
Councilmember Williams.
Mine will not be short and sweet. Sorry, everybody. I got to attend the Studio 55 Valentine's Ball. That was literally the best event I've ever seen. Everyone was so dressed up. Band was incredible. It was such a special moment for all of our seniors. So I really, that's the first event that I've really gotten to go to. So I really just appreciate all the work that the rec team has put into really creating such a meaningful program. It was packed, and it was just a great event. I also met with the building and construction trades to talk about ideas for ensuring local labor is included in project discussions.
I attended the BART workshop and advocated for them to reconsider the cuts to Far East County. Just some interesting stats that I pulled out. BART riders had more than 55 million trips in 2025. For context, that means every single resident would have to take 7 car trips in order to equal the miles traveled on BART. And their projections, if BART were to not be here, is expected to add an additional 4 hours of commute time. The finance director did acknowledge that service reductions even with service reductions, their revenue is going to continue trending down. And even if the measure passes, there's still a $70 million deficit. So that's kind of big numbers to think about there. I also got to I now sit on the Green Empowerment Zone. So we received 16 applications for 7 environmental justice seats. So we offered them positions. There's also going to be an executive committee, and Oakley is in the running for that slot. There are 6 other cities that are also in the running, and there's 3 spots available. We had a presentation by the UC Berkeley Labor Center policy. UC Berkeley Labor Center, and it was on our policy strategy. Attracting projects that create good jobs and local revenue. The policies are meant to inform tech-specific policy approaches, matching industry needs and green empowerment zone assets, strategies for high road projects by industry outreach, and attraction efforts, all in the lower to mid-scale production. Obviously very interesting because of what we have going on at Bridgehead with the Bridgehead Industrial Project. They are contracted with PSE Healthy Energy to come up with final reports and recommendations for strategies to avoid or minimize environmental and public health risk, also very important with any of these projects. There is workforce research ongoing regarding the types of job, pay, career pathways. We do have some of the things that make especially the Bay Area, but California in general, attractive is we have the most innovative green tech and engineering. R&D accessibility is here, and the best, most highly skilled workforce available with high retention. And they especially noted people transitioning from military, refineries, steel mills, so obviously all in our areas. And the largest question that the empowerment is asking is, how does consumption turn into production? Because California is the largest consumer of green technology. Now, how do we shift production all here? I also got to attend the library community workshop. Great discussion, lots of really great ideas for the environment, design. I really appreciate everybody who was able to attend that. I can't wait to see that project come to life. And today, Josh and I met with the California Conservation Corps to discuss opportunities to partner, including at our upcoming day of service. That's it, I'm done.
And since our last meeting, I also attended Studio 55 for the Valentine's celebration, which was great. The library community meeting on the 17th, Iron House Sanitation District's last meeting, and the East Contra Costa Habitat Conservative Board met on Monday. We'll move to 7.2B, request for future agenda items. I don't have any. Item 8, work session, none. Item 9, closed session. Closed session's been canceled at the recommendation of our city attorney. So we will call for adjournment. Our next meeting will be on March 10th at 6:30 p.m. This meeting's adjourned. Thank you for